I could have some books out here that no, I won't. I won't work. Anyhow, I'm back. Was interrupted there, and I've had long hair my entire life, my entirety. And just 4 years ago, or 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, I cut it and gave myself a mohawk. Even though I'm not Mohawk, from the West Coast, British Columbia, Canada. Well, I'm blessing my soul. What's wrong with me? I'm shaking like a man in a fuzzy tree. Who can I say? I'm wild as a bug. I'm in love. I'm all shook up. Yeah, yeah. I'm all shook up. You suck. Okay, here we go. We're back. Get a wave. That's all you get. We were interrupted. Are you guys in Saskatchewan? Alberta? I don't know. I'm guessing here. That's what makes this thing. Elvis, all the of my soul. What's wrong with me? Bitching like a man on a fuzzy tree. That's all the karaoke you're going to get out of this Indian. I ain't going to sing no more. Thank you very much. You're a fantastic audience. Yeah, I was still around. I was born in Wisconsin. Holy shit. You're not even in Canada. Canada. Yeah, I was born when Elvis was alive. I was born when Jim Morrison was still alive. And I was born when Bruce Lee was still alive. Whoa! Yeah, CFS is Child Protective Services, which is down in the States. Up here, it's Child and Family Services. And by an alarming rate, 90% of the population in child care with social workers in Canada is Indigenous, as in American Indian. Up here, it's Indigenous. The prison systems in Canada, 89% of the prison population is Indigenous. So up here, it's racism. And we have been fighting racism for 250 years. We've been fighting racism. And the Canadian government tried killing off the Indigenous people with residential school, which down there is boarding school. And they raped, murdered, molested all the Indigenous children in those schools for 200 years. But right now in Canada, there's 1,900,000 Indigenous people in Canada. So the Canadian government failed miserably. And right now we're dealing with a leader of Canada who put on the blackface at a Halloween party a number of years ago and said it had nothing to do with racism. Well, that's on your end. On our end, it was different. Our end, it's over 200 years. First colonials that landed here in Canada built residential schools in the early 1800s, before the Canadian government was even a government. And those were priests, Roman Catholic priests and stuff like that. And their motif was, if you're not down with God and you're not down with our religions, you're heathens and savages and deserve to be dead. So I got up with racism. I cross the street or go on the same street as a lady and she protects her purse and go across a crosswalk and they lock their doors like I'm some sort of dirty criminal. But then the whites, the non-indigenous people are talking about reconciliation and, you know. My uncle was in residential school and my dad and 4 of my cousins were murdered in residential schools, and my great-grandmother was in residential school, so was my grandfather. And my uncle said he was in there in 1944, and he said reconciliation isn't going to come to the world for another 200 years, or 4 generations. 4 generations. So we won't be here when that happens, but our ancestors will be. But my children are in care. And all my children, each and it sounds like a soap opera, isn't that sad? All of my children are upset with me because I haven't been there for them as a dad. Irresponsible, selfish, and downright stupid. It's stupid things.
Cheep, cheep, cheep.
We have a number of big gray squirrels running around our area of town. Big, long, fluffy tails. My mom and I like feeding them and watching them and talking to them. There's one here that's very friendly. Doesn't mind coming up to within 1.5 inches from you. Yeah, I'm in Winnipeg, Canada. Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. We are the Slurpee capital of the world. Not Canada. Not Manitoba. The world. We're also the best known people in Winnipeg that eat a lot of craft dinner. I think in all of in all of North America, I think. I'll have to look that up. I'm having a very bad hair day. When you have long hair, you have to look after it. And I found out very quick from my relationships with the women that I was with in my past. I've been single for 11 years. And you find that out very quickly because they don't like running their hands through greasy and oily hair, and that's what I have. When you have long hair, you got to take care of it, especially from a guy's point of view. I've known a lot of friends, a lot of guys who let themselves go and don't wash your hair. And even had a few girlfriends in my Tinder say, if you want me to put my hands through your hair, you got to wash that mop. Yeah, so I don't miss relationships at all. I don't. For the most part of it, my young adult years, I attracted very unstable, unhealthy women because I was unhealthy. And gotta go.